Imagine the hottest day of summer, school holidays stretching out, and that simple, undeniable joy of freedom.
Yeah.
Picture three young siblings, Jane, Arnna, and Grant Beaumont, setting off for a bustling Glenelg Beach in Adelaide, Australia.
January 26, 1966. Australia Day.
Exactly. Quintessential summer morning, filled with promise, sun, sand, adventure.
But that promise, it didn't last, did it?
Not at all. By sundown, that idyllic memory, it just dissolves into a national nightmare.
A vanishing act.
Completely. Ripped right through the heart of the nation, redefined what it meant for kids to be safe. It changed Australian parenting forever, really.
Nearly 60 years on, still a cold case.
Sends shivers down your spine, doesn't it? Every Aussie parent knows this story. It resonates with this haunting intensity across generations.
Absolutely.
This is The Deep Dive, and today we're taking a comprehensive plunge into one of Australia's most enduring and truly heartbreaking mysteries, the disappearance of the Beaumont children. Our friends over at Evidence Gone Wrong, great channel. By the way, they recently explored this in their video, The Disappearance of the Beaumont Children, an unsolved Australian mystery.
Right.
And you've sent us a stack of sources on this. Everything from police reports, academic papers.
Media investigations, online forums.
Heaps of stuff. We're going to unpack it all, try and piece together the fragments of what we actually know.
And our mission in this deep dive, really, is to guide you through this intricate web of facts, the perplexing eyewitness accounts.
Yeah, some of those are confusing.
Totally. And the exhaustive police investigations, plus the modern forensic efforts that have continued for decades.
We'll distill the key insights, look at the main theories.
And the suspects. Gotta talk about the suspects.
Definitely. We want to help you understand not just what happened, but why this case continues to haunt Australia.
And how it reshaped our whole understanding of child safety. It really raises that lingering question, doesn't it? Can we ever fully grasp the truth behind such a prolonged absence?
Or is some knowledge just destined to remain out of reach?
Yeah.
So let's cast our minds back. The setting, Australia Day, January 26, 1966, Adelaide, South Australia.
And the whole country was sweltering, wasn't it? An intense summer heat wave.
Absolutely. National holiday, beaches were packed, families everywhere.
And our focus? The Beaumont children. 9-year-old Jane Nartare.
The eldest.
Her 7-year-old sister Arnna Kathleen.
And little Glenelg Beaumont, just 4 years old.
Living with their parents, Jim and Nancy, at 109 Harding Street, Somerton Park.
Right near the beach.
Yeah, a beachside suburb. Glenelg Beach, vibrant, popular spot just a short distance away.
It was their regular haunt, wasn't it? Seemingly safe.
Totally. A place they went often unsupervised.
Which is key.
Indeed. And to really get the gravity of this, you need to understand the time, the context.
1960s Australia. Different world.
Completely. This wasn't an era where parents felt they had to hover constantly. Just the day before, January 25th.
Yeah.
Their dad, Jim Beaumont, he'd actually dropped them off at Glenelg Beach himself.
Oh, right, before his sales trip.
Exactly, up to Snowtown.
Yeah.
So the kids going to the beach alone, it wasn't, out of the blue.
Right, it was kind of routine for them.
Pretty much. So Australia Day, the 26th, they ask their mom, Nancy, if they can go again. Full of beans,
But it was scorching hot that day, even hotter maybe.
Absolutely roasting. Way too hot to walk the 3Ks, about 1.9 miles.
So the bus it was.
Yep, Nancy gave them the bus fare. They caught the 8:45 a.m. bus. Just a quick, familiar 5-minute trip.
And they were meant to be back when?
Midday.
12 o'clock bus. That was the plan. And this precision is key because Jane, the eldest,
She was the responsible one.
incredibly responsible, like a mini parent looking after Arnna and Grant. And back then, in 1960s Australia, this was just a normal situation.
Kids traveling alone local is totally accepted.
Seen as safe. For a picture, Jane had her pink bathers, green shorts.
Carried a copy of Little Women.
Yeah, and an Airways-type bag with 3 towels. Arnna was in red and white stripes, Grant in green and white stripes. And money. Not much, right?
Very little. 6 shillings and 6 pence. Just enough for the bus fare and maybe a pie or something.
And that initial reward. Oh, 250 pounds. Seems tiny now.
Yeah, Australian pounds back then. Reflects how they first saw it, maybe didn't grasp the immediate danger.
So what started as just another trip to the beach, it started to unravel pretty quickly for Nancy.
Yeah, when that 12 p.m. bus arrived and they weren't on it.
That must have been the first knot of worry.
Absolutely. Then the 2 p.m. bus, still empty. The worry must have intensified.
And Jim, the father, he was away.
On that sales trip. But he cut it short, felt something wasn't right, perhaps. Got home around 3 p.m.
And went straight to the beach.
Drove straight there. Crowded beach, frantic search amidst all the holidaymakers. Couldn't find them.
Then back home, searching the streets with Nancy.
Checking friends' houses, local parks. Just desperation setting in.
Until about 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, then the crushing realization. They went to Glenelg Police Station, reported them missing.
And this wasn't just a local worry for long, was it?
Not at all. It exploded. Worldwide attention almost immediately. Transformed a private nightmare into a global headline.
It's fascinating, isn't it, the societal impact? How one case can just change everything.
Profoundly. This disappearance is widely credited with causing a change in Australian lifestyles. Seriously.
Before this, the assumption was just kids are safe in their community.
Pretty much. Unsupervised play, traveling locally, just part of growing up. This case didn't just introduce stranger danger.
It eroded trust.
Fundamentally, that unspoken layer of communal trust. After this, parents began to believe that their children could no longer be presumed to be safe when unsupervised in public.
A massive shift. A psychological turning point.
Absolutely seismic. This, along with, the Graham Thorne kidnapping in 60, the Wanda Beach murders in 65.
Sparked an end of innocence in post-war Australia.
That's the phrase everyone uses. And what's really striking, looking back, there was zero public suggestion of parental negligence. No one blamed Jim and Nancy for letting them go alone. It was just accepted.
Until this happened. It shattered that perception.
Irrevocably. Forced a whole generation to rethink everything about kids' independence, and it still shapes how we think about child safety today.
So back to that day, past midday, things start getting weird. The eyewitness account.
Yeah, the fragmented pieces start forming a disturbing picture. Multiple witnesses saw the kids on or near the beach.
But not alone.
Not alone, with a man described pretty consistently as tall man with fairish to light brown hair, thin face, suntanned, medium build, mid-30s.
Quite details. About 6 foot, 6'1", clean-shaven, high forehead, wearing Speedos.
Navy blue Speedo-type trunks, white stripes, very specific.
And the kids seemed okay with him, relaxed.
That's the unsettling part. Witnesses said they seemed relaxed and enjoying themselves, playing with him in Collie Reserve, Grant jumping over him, the girls flicking towels at him.
Which seemed odd for Jane, apparently. She was usually shy.
Very shy, reserved. So that comfort level was out of character. It led investigators to think
They'd met him before.
maybe, perhaps met the man during a previous visit or visits and had grown to trust him.
And that feeds into what Arnna told her mom.
The chilling comment. Jane got a boyfriend down the beach? Nancy just dismissed it as a playmate then. Hindsight, eh?
God, yeah. And didn't the man do something odd with their money?
Yeah, he approached a couple, asked if anyone had been near the children's belongings as their money was missing. Strange.
And then witnesses saw him dressing them, all three.
Yeah, struck people as very odd, especially with Jane being 9 and known for being modest.
So the last confirmed sighting of them together, about 12:15 p.m.
Walking away from the beach. And crucially...
away from the bus stop.
Exactly. And another witness, Daphne Gregory, saw them later, hours later apparently, with the man carrying Jane's airline bag, still heading away from home.
Right after those beach sightings, there's the bakery stop, Wenzel's Bakery.
Yeah, Mosley Street, just a short walk. Around 12:20 p.m., Jane goes in.
And the shop assistant knew them.
Knew them well, they were regulars, and she remembered the purchase because it was unusual.
A meat pie, which they didn't normally get.
Right. Plus 5 pasties, 6 finger buns, 2 large fizzy drinks, a fair bit of food.
But the payment, that's the kicker, isn't it?
Absolutely crucial. She paid with a single, crisp £1 note.
When Nancy had only given them 6 shillings and 6 pence.
Exactly. Police were believed the money had been given to them by somebody else.
Ties back to the man on the beach, maybe?
Yeah.
The missing money thing?
It strongly suggested an adult companion was involved, an adult providing money, maybe directing things.
And the amount of food, too. Seems like more than just a quick lunch for 3 kids.
Points towards a longer, unplanned outing, perhaps, with this mystery man. Paints a picture of something more orchestrated.
But then things get even murkier with conflicting sightings.
Oh, completely. Muddled the investigation right from the start. There was the postman.
Initially seen as a reliable witness, knew the kids.
Yeah, knew them well from his rounds. Claimed he saw them alone, holding hands and laughing, on Jetty Road.
Heading home. But late, like 2:55 p.m.
Yeah, seemed like a huge lead. Maybe they were just late, dawdling home.
But he retracted it.
2 days later, contacted police, said he thought, on reflection, he saw them in the morning, not the afternoon.
Which just blew that theory out of the water. Eyewitness testimony, eh? So unreliable sometimes.
A real double-edged sword. And this case shows just how much confusion it can cause.
And wasn't there another weird report months later? A woman seeing them enter an empty house.
Yeah, peculiar and frustrating. Claimed a man, 2 girls, and a boy went into a supposedly empty house nearby on the night they disappeared. Said she saw the boy being roughly caught by the man later.
But she didn't report it straight away.
Nope. Which seriously complicated that lead for investigators trying to verify it so much later.
And other sightings just kept popping up for ages.
For about a year, yeah. Reported sightings here, there, and everywhere, but none ever led anywhere concrete. Just a trail of fruitless clues.
So the police response, once the alarm was properly raised, it was huge.
Immediate and extensive. Within 24 hours, it wasn't just local news, it was national news. Everyone knew.
A massive search kicked off.
Huge. Glenelg Beach, the sand hills, the ocean, nearby buildings, everywhere.
And the fear must have just escalated incredibly quickly.
Terrifyingly fast. By January 29th, just 3 days later, the Adelaide Sunday Mail ran the headline, "Sex crime now feared." Chilling.
They drained the Patalonga boat haven, checked caves, drains.
Absolutely everything. Drained the boat haven based on a reported sighting. Checked caves, hollows, stormwater drains, monitored airports, rail lines. Desperate search for any sign.
But nothing. None of their belongings ever turned up.
Not a single thing. 17 items they were known to have: clothes, towels, Jane's book. The bag vanished completely.
And that reward went up eventually, right?
Ow.
From £250.
To $1 million. Shows the scale of the pressure and the national desire for answers over time.
The desperation for answers led down some strange paths, didn't it? Including bringing in a psychic.
Yeah, the pressure was immense. People were desperate, reaching for anything, which I think paved the way for some unconventional leads.
Like Gerard Croiset, the Dutch psychic, flown all the way over.
November 1966. Caused a massive furor in the media, really divided opinion.
And he pinpointed a spot, a warehouse near their home.
Yeah, claimed they were buried under an old brick kiln beneath new concrete in this warehouse.
And they actually demolished the building based on this.
Public pressure, media frenzy. The community just wanted answers so badly, they raised $40,000 to fund the demolition. Extraordinary.
But found nothing.
Nothing at all. No remains nor any evidence tied to any members of the Beaumont family was found.
Searched again years later, too.
1996, during a partial demolition, still nothing. It just highlights the desperate lengths people went to and how easily hope can be misplaced in these situations.
And then adding cruelty to the grief. Those hoax letters.
Oh, that was just awful. About 2 years later, the parents received 2 letters, postmarked Dandenong, Victoria.
Supposedly from Jane and the man.
Yeah. Describing a relatively pleasant existence, him as their guardian, even named a meeting place for their return.
Police thought they might be real initially.
They did. Desperately hoping, comparing handwriting.
So the Beaumonts went to the meeting place with a detective.
Can you imagine? Their hearts must have been pounding, accompanied by a disguised detective, but no one showed.
Have it a third letter.
Claiming the man saw the detective, felt betrayed, would keep the kids forever, just twisting the knife. But forensics later proved they were fake.
Years later, 1992. Advanced fingerprint tech identified the author, a bloke who was just a teenager at the time. Just a teenager. And he wrote them. Why?
Apparently as a joke. Unbelievable cruelty. He wasn't charged because too much time had passed.
God, playing with parents' grief like that. It's another layer of heartbreak, isn't it?
Adds another devastating dimension to their suffering. The false dawns, the deliberate deception.
And the ordeal for Jim and Nancy. Just unending.
By any measure, they received widespread sympathy. The whole nation grieved with them.
Nancy especially held on to hope for so long, didn't she?
Yeah.
That famous quote.
Yeah, that it would be dreadful if the kids came home and didn't find their parents waiting. Heartbreaking devotion.
They cooperated with everything, didn't they? Explored every possibility.
Fully, tirelessly pursued every lead, no matter how remote or emotionally draining. Cult abductions, burial sites from psychics, tips, everything.
And the media intrusion. Those computer-generated photos must have been awful.
Devastating. Published against their wishes in 1990. A painful, invasive reminder of the years lost, the future stolen.
They eventually divorced, lived separately, trying to escape the spotlight.
Seems so. Wanted to live their final years away from the intense public attention.
And both passed away without ever knowing. Nancy in 2019, Jim just last year in 2023.
92 and 97, never knowing what happened. No closure. They were reported to have finally accepted the truth might never be discovered.
A lifetime of unanswered questions.
Mm-hmm.
Just profound sadness.
A testament to their decades-long agony, the human cost.
Okay, let's turn to the possible suspects. Over nearly 60 years, quite a few names have come up.
A long list, yeah. Each compelling in ways, but ultimately inconclusive.
First up, Bevan Spencer von Einem.
Right. Sentenced to life in '84 for murdering Richard Kelvin, the newsreader's son.
Police suspected him in other cases too, including the Beaumonts.
Strongly suspected accomplices and involvement in additional murders. And yes, the Beaumont disappearance. But he refused to cooperate, just clammed up.
And there was that informant account, Mr. B.
Yeah, a source police called Generally Reliable claimed von Einem boasted about taking 3 children from a beach several years earlier.
Taking them home for experiments. Brilliant surgery. That's chilling.
Horrific stuff. Said one died, so von Einem killed the other 2, dumped the bodies south of Adelaide.
And the connections. He looked like the addicted.
Resembled descriptions and the sketches from '66. Known to frequent Glenelg, reportedly to perv on changing rooms, preoccupied with children.
Also linked to the '73 Adelaide Oval abductions.
Similar suspect descriptions there too, but there were discrepancies.
His age, right. He was younger than the description in '66.
Early 20s, not mid to late 30s. And his known victims were usually older, teens 20s.
But police were still interested, that archival footage.
Yeah, Channel 7 found footage from the '66 search in 2007 showing a young bloke resembling von Einem in the crowd. Police put out a call for info, still a person of interest. Then there's Arthur Stanley Brown, linked to other child murders too.
The McKay sisters in Queensland, 1970. Charged but found unfit to stand trial.
Dementia and Alzheimer's. Died in 2002 without conviction, but the connection to the Beaumonts.
Striking similarity to the descriptions and identikits again. Both Beaumont and the Oval cases.
Yeah, strong visual match. And he had that weird, meticulously neat trait, folding things.
Like the McKay girls' uniforms found folded.
Exactly, a potential signature. But his alibi for '66, murky.
No employment records.
Yeah.
Lost in a flood, maybe. Or destroyed.
Possible. And there's a tentative Adelaide link. A witness recalled him talking about the festival center being built.
Placing him in Adelaide around '73. But nothing for '66.
No evidence has ever been found to connect Brown with Adelaide in 1966. And the age discrepancy again.
He was older.
53 and 66. Not the mid-30s description. Still, the resemblance and other cases keep his name in the mix.
Okay, James Ryan O'Neill, alias Lee Anthony Bridgart.
Serving life for a boy's murder in Tasmania in '75, described as incredibly cold-blooded and calculated.
And he reportedly told people he did the Beaumonts.
Several acquaintances claimed he confessed.
His answers in that documentary were cagey, weren't they?
Very evasive. The fisherman said, "I couldn't have done it. I was in Melbourne." Then, look, on legal advice, I'm not going to say where I was or when I was there.
Not exactly a firm denial. Suspicious.
Definitely raised eyebrows. And his work.
The opal industry.
Mm-hmm.
Required travel through Adelaide.
Between '65 and '68, traveling to Coober Pedy would have meant passing through Adelaide. Contradicted his claims of never being there then.
But police discounted him.
Interviewed O'Neill and discounted him as a suspect, despite the circumstantial stuff. Shows the high bar for evidence. Next, Derek Ernest Percy. Another convicted child murderer, Victoria's longest-serving prisoner.
Found not guilty by reason of insanity for one murder.
Yvonne Touet, 1969. And he apparently thought he might have killed the Beaumonts.
But had no memory of it. Due to a psychological condition.
That's the claim. Supposedly indicated that he believed he might have killed the Beaumont children as he was in the area at the time, but he had no recollection of actually doing so. Very strange.
But again, major discrepancies. Age.
Only 17 in 1966. Way too young for the description.
And uncertain if he had a car. Needed for a getaway.
Presumed needed, yeah. Unknown if he had one. Plus, he was jailed from '69, so couldn't be the Oval abductor in '73.
So his vague confession, while unsettling, didn't really lead anywhere solid.
Too many inconsistencies.
Alan Anthony Monroe, former scoutmaster, convicted pedophile.
Pleaded guilty to 10 child sex offenses, 62-83, including some in Glenelg itself. Sentenced to 10 years.
And that rarely damning secondhand account from Ellen McIntyre.
Yeah, McIntyre, who'd been cleared himself, claimed Monroe showed up at his house in '66 with the kids' bodies in the boot.
And that detail about Arnna's short hair, making her look like a boy, Specific.
Very specific, very disturbing detail. Then that child's diary emerged.
Placing Monroe near Glenelg Beach around the time. And Monroe had abused one of the diary writers.
Yeah, one of McIntyre's sons. Added a grim credibility.
But police had already looked at him, found no evidence linking him.
Stated she'd been previously investigated, but no evidence had been found that he was involved, despite being in Adelaide then and having that history. Frustrating. Which brings us to the suspect who's had the most focus in recent years, Harry Phipps.
The Satin Man, local factory owner, died 2004, named posthumously.
By his estranged son, Hayden, and the connections are, well, numerous.
Likeness to the police sketch.
Substantial likeness. Wealthy, known to hand out £1 notes.
Relevant to the bakery purchase.
Exactly. Alleged pedophile. And crucially, lived incredibly close.
How close?
Just 300 meters away from the beach on the corner of Augusta Street and Sussex Street. Immediate proximity, opportunity.
And his son Hayden's testimony. Seeing the kids in the yard.
Came forward 2007, was 15 and 66. Claimed he saw them in his father's yard on Jan 26. Went into the house, didn't come out.
Hayden also alleged abuse by his father. And the satin fetish thing.
Yeah, claims sexual abuse and the secret fetish for wearing satin costumes. Hence, the Satin Man.
With Hayden's story verified. Polygraph.
Independently verified. Polygraph examiner concluded, he's telling the truth, but he knows more. Chillin'.
And the purse. Jane's purse allegedly seen at Fick's wife's place.
Stuart Mullins, the author, claimed he saw Jane's beige clip purse there. Elizabeth Phipps later said she threw it away before police could check. Highly suspicious.
Plus the hole diggers. 2 lads paid to dig a big hole in the factory yard that weekend.
Came forward 2013. Recalled Phipps paid them to dig a 2x1 by 2 meter hole for unstated reasons. Phipps just watched them.
The age is a bit off, though. He was older than mid-30s.
48 and 66. Older, though some said he looked younger. But as former Detective Bill Hayes said,
over 30 coincidences pointing to Phipps.
In this particular case, we've got over 30 coincidences lining up to Mr. Phipps. It's a compelling web.
Which explains the repeated digs at his old factory, New Castelloy.
Exactly. All those coincidences pointed there. First dig in 2013.
Small area, found one anomaly with GPR, but nothing conclusive.
Right. No additional evidence. Investigation closed for that spot.
Then 2018, sponsored by Channel 7. Re-interviewed witnesses.
To pinpoint the original 1966 fence and gate locations, crucial detail.
9-hour dig, found animal bones, rubbish, but no Beaumonts.
Nothing related. Criminologist Xantha Mallet had that theory about the alibi hole.
That Phipps maybe got the boys to dig it as a deliberate diversion. So cunning.
Plausible, perhaps. And then another dig, just this year, 2025.
Third time lucky. Based on new evidence, privately funded, week-long.
Still nothing. Did not find any remains of the children.
The persistence is incredible, but the lack of physical evidence is just agonizingly frustrating. If Phipps was involved, where are they?
That remains the huge unanswered question. And these searches highlight the sheer difficulty of finding covert burials after so long.
Especially in ground that's been disturbed over decades, that anthropogenic fill.
Exactly, like trying to read a messed up book. That Deakin University paper looked right at this.
The Berezowski paper, focused on the New Castelloy site and Phipps.
Yeah, using geophysics to tackle that complex ground based on the eyewitness testimony linking to Phipps. Science trying to cut through the noise.
So in that 2018 dig, they used ground-penetrating radar, GPR first.
Standard approach. GPR is common, high resolution, quick survey time.
But it didn't work well there. Too much disturbance.
Data was low quality overall. The site was just too churned up with that film material.
Like metallic noise obscuring everything.
Pretty much. Limited the depth penetration and confused the soil stratigraphy. Too many reflections from the junk, hiding any subtle signs of a grave underneath.
So GPR was basically useless in this specific instance.
Did not contribute in a useful way. Showed it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Need the right tool for the job. Which is where the other technique came in. Electrical resistivity tomography, ERT.
First time it was used like this in a forensic case in Australia.
In this capacity, yeah. Pretty innovative application.
How does ERT work? Measures electrical resistance in the ground.
Exactly. Images the subsurface non-invasively. Graves show up as anomalies, areas with different resistance because the soil's been disturbed, dug up, refilled.
And it worked better than GPR here.
Data quality was moderate, reached 10 meters deep, and crucially, it found something.
2 features. with weird resistivity value.
Yeah, adjacent features measuring 2 by 1 meters and 2 by 2 meters appeared under a layer of backfill, not right at the surface, consistent with an older burial.
And the size and shape matched what you'd expect for.
A grave for 3 small children, located below the later fill, consistent with a 1966 burial. Scientifically, it was a very strong target.
But the excavation, despite the science pointing right there,
The outcome was, as the researchers said, disheartening.
they dug precisely where it indicated, found the soil disturbance.
Matched the RT anomaly shape perfectly. Anthropogenic soil, then sand, then clay.
But no human remains.
None. Just organic, rich sediment containing animal bones, rubbish, broken ceramic, and shells.
So a technical success for ERD, showing its potential.
Especially for complex sites where GPR struggles.
But just not the answer everyone desperately needed for the Beaumonts.
Exactly. Highlights the relentless scientific effort even when the outcome isn't closure. They keep trying.
And the Beaumont case itself. It's just this enduring national scar, isn't it?
Without a doubt, one of the largest police investigations in Australian history, still one of Australia's most infamous cold cases.
And the social impact fundamentally changed how parents supervised kids.
Pivotal event. Before them, contemporary Australian society took it for granted that this was safe and acceptable for kids to be out alone.
It truly marked an end of innocence. That collective sense of security just gone.
And that shift still resonates today, shapes parenting, public spaces, everything.
And SAPOL, South Australia Police, they haven't given up.
Never given up on the case. Have that policy. No murder investigation ends up in a closed file. Commitment.
The $1 million reward is still active.
Still maintained. A constant reminder. And the media attention.
It never goes away, does it? Regularly in the headlines, even now.
Reflects that collective unresolved trauma. Australia hasn't healed from this. The public fascination is part of that grief. It's more than just a crime story.
It's foundational, and at the heart of it all, Jim and Nancy, their unimaginable ordeal.
Facing it all under such intense scrutiny, Nancy's hope, cooperating with every single possibility.
Enduring those hoaxes, the psychic circus, the invasive media photos.
The divorce, trying to find peace separately, and then dying without knowing.
Just the profound sadness of no closure. Accepting they might never find out.
A symbol of that relentless human cost of unsolved mysteries. A wound that never healed for them, or for the country, really.
So you've taken this deep dive with us today, from that Australia Day 66.
Through decades of investigations, hoaxes, suspects, the latest science.
All trying to pierce through nearly 60 years of silence.
And the disappearance of Jane, Arnna, and Grant Beaumont remains this gaping wound in Australia's memory, still challenging our understanding of security, trust, truth.
What does it mean for us as a society when something like this stays unsolved for so long?
Forces us to confront vulnerability, the shadows, but also the strength of hope, doesn't it? Even after all this time.
It's more than just a crime. It's about the deep impact on a nation, on all of us trying to make sense of it. And if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, you want to explore more baffling cases.
Check out Evidence Gone Wrong on YouTube. Our friends there do great work.
Definitely worth a look.
And as we finish up, here's something to think about. In this world overflowing with information, with forensic science getting more advanced all the time, what unspoken truths might still be buried, waiting patiently for the right moment, the right perspective to finally surface.
And what would it truly mean for Australia if, one day, the Beaumont children were finally found? Could it offer some measure of peace to a nation that's never forgotten them?
And maybe, just maybe, a final, quiet answer for Jim and Nancy. A profound thought to leave you with.